Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for some music and entertainment news. So, still on Twitter? Well, a lot of people are going to Blue Sky. It's another thing to add on to your repertoire of social media accounts. Now, what Blue Sky is an alternative to Twitter, and they say it's better because it's less toxicity that's going on Twitter. So, a lot of people, I guess, have allegedly moved over to Blue Sky. They say they have 16.7 million users as of a few days ago, and about 1 million a day new people are going on to Blue Sky. However, Twitter has 300 million alleged active monthly users, and even Threads, which came on to be a Twitter replacement, has 250 million a year ago, I remember, because Instagram just gave you a Threads account no matter what. I remember going on it when it came around. I was like, okay, I'll take a look at this. And then I haven't been on it again in a year.
I think you're like the rest of America.
Is anybody really going on Threads and saying, like, I got to get on here because here's what the party is?
Whenever I go on Threads, it's just people asking for money. I go on there every once in a while just to see what's up, and it's like, hey, man, down on my luck, my Toyota Corolla broke down. Can anybody lend me $70 so I can get it fixed? That's the only thing I see on Threads.
Wow.
You know what I realized? I don't like the name.
Threads?
I'm not going on there. It's stupid.
I'm not sure if it was because of Threads, like creating Threads. I don't know what
But
that.
I don't like it. It sounds like competition for Michaels or something, and I just it doesn't get me going. The only time I've ended up on there is by accident when there's like an advertisement on Instagram and you click on it.
Yeah.
Like that looks like a funny clip, and then it takes you over there and I immediately exit.
Yeah, same thing. Like
Yeah.
they do on Facebook too. These like ads, and you hit it, and you're like, I don't want to be here. Wait, I didn't sign up for
I
this.
was on Instagram. Settle down.
Can we agree as a society going forward right now for the rest of our lives, everybody listening, we're all on Earth at the same time, that all we should have the rest of the time is Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok.
I thought this was going to be a shorter list.
But those five, am I missing one?
Just stop inventing social media. Stop doing it to us.
It's not going to work. Now, TikTok rose because they were different. About, 6, 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago?
It's different. You can't just make the same social media and call it something else and be like, well, we have stars. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some stars that moved over there, like, let's see, Lizzo, Barbara Streisand, John Cusack, who blocked...
I gotta get on there.
Yeah. John Cusack, Great Chicago, and I love his movies, but he blocked me on Twitter. Ben Stiller...
You can follow him on Blue Sky.
I wonder if he blocked me instantly on Blue Sky if I said followed him.
I think he's waiting for you to get over there so he can block you.
I'm really upset about it. I love John Cusack. I love High Fidelity. I love all the movies.
Why'd
Say
you
anything.
get blocked? What'd you say?
I don't remember, but I think it was guilt by association because he had a beef with the Barstool guys because they ripped him for going to the White Sox game. And I had just had a video that got reposted on the Barstool platform. And so I think that they just associated me, like everybody associated with it got blocked. And I wanted to explain myself to him, but he blocked me too fast. I can't communicate with him. It's upsetting.
That stinks.
John Cusack, if you're listening, please unblock me, bro. I'm a good guy.
Well, what they also have, but I'm not going to co-sign that. But
That's mean.
Sorry. What they also have is they have kids versions of apps too. So you have like Cover Star, which is basically like a kids TikTok. So that way they don't get like creeped on and all the audio is like edited, even though it exists. So there's no like cursing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, now there's the kids versions, which I think there's a lot of kids with these. My son doesn't have one because I'm trying to save him. All of these kids are going to be livid at their parents in like 3 years when they're in high school. And they're like, I cannot believe you let me put that online. I'm now getting bullied. Don't let kids post when they're 10, they're going to be humiliated. I've seen these lip syncs. They're ass. They're not doing a good job. They're going to be so freaking embarrassed. And that's why I'm like, listen, like Tristan's asked me, I go, absolutely not. I promise you in a few years, you're going to be like, I can't believe you let me dance like that online. I got shoved into a locker today. I'm helping you. It's not good.
But he has to learn. You see,
No.
he needs to learn.
No.
And he got
You need
shoved
to
in a
learn.
locker.
No,
That's
not good.
Because otherwise, you're.
Think about the things you did when you were 10 and how cringe they were. And then you get to high school and everyone's going to be able to see them.
Understood, but now you're going to have to follow him around the rest of his life and do this for him.
No.
You're going to be like 60 and following Tristan around and make sure he gets shoved in a
Listen,
locker at
they
work
shouldn't-
when he's 40.
That's on him at a certain point.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Appearing at night 2 of Q101's Twisted Christmas, Dexter and the Moon Rocks, one of my favorite new bands of 2024. You can get a ticket at Q101.com, and we'll have more tickets for free coming up in Clash with Kenzie at 7:10 tomorrow morning. All you do is listen and beat Kenzie in trivia, and you get tickets for night 4, which features Bush. And those are the only 2 nights that have some tickets left. Night 1 with Cage is sold out. Night 3 with the Pumpkins is sold out. But all the information about tickets at Q101.com. We're just talking about Blue Sky, this new social media platform that some actors are going on. And I mentioned how John Cusack has blocked me on Twitter. Shout out to Heather from Plainfield. Shout out to Heather. She went on John Cusack's Twitter and pleaded for him to unblock me on Twitter. That would really make my day. That'd be a nice thing.
It would be so nice.
Because I like John Cusack so much, and he blocked me, a guilt by association situation, and I just like to be able to, say, hey, man, love to say anything, bro.
Loved it.
High fidelity.
I love
Loved it.
Serendipity. Did you see Serendipity?
I did not see Serendipity.
Adorable.
I know that movie. I know the name, but what's it about?
So it's like, being serendipitous is kind of like a spur of the moment. Like, oh my God, this is crazy that this happened. So they bump into each other one night and they kind of fall in love, but they're both engaged to other people. But this is like the only true love that they ever felt. But then they completely disappear, and she writes her name in a book, and he finds that book again and finds her. They end up together. It's crazy.
It's a whole thing.
It sounds crazy.
It's impossible for them to find each other again, but they did find each other before they got married to the people that they shouldn't be married to.
With my time crunch, is it worth my time to watch that?
I love it. I think it's so fun. And then I went to that restaurant because that restaurant, Serendipity, is in New York, and it's awesome.
This restaurant's called Serendipity?
Yeah, that's what, yes. And it's really, really good. They have frozen hot chocolate. You'll love it. This is all true.
It's like getting a travel report from a 13-year-old girl.
I know, that's good. It's a lot to cover. You have 10 seconds to go over the restaurant in the movie.
No, I don't think I need it now. I think you covered the movie for me.
It's very fun.
I don't think I need to
Love
watch it. Yeah, love it, I guess.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
What I did love for most of yesterday was the Chicago Bears. They looked great. The new offensive coordinator. Love him.
Love him.
Like Serendipity. I love him a lot.
That's so good.
Called plays that went to the tight end. Caleb Williams looked the best he has all year. Comfortable in the pocket. Started throwing the ball 1 second faster than he has all year, which is a big deal when it goes from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. The defense made plays. They looked wonderful until the end. And when they waited to kick the field goal, this is the only mistake they made all day. Waiting about 24 seconds to wind it down so Cairo Santos could kick a 46-yard field goal. I was hoping they would run one more play. And instead, sitting on the couch with Megan, my wife, I got up and walked to the bathroom. And she goes, where are you going? They're going to kick it. And I go, I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to the bathroom. And this is what happened.
And it's blocked! Oh, my goodness, the Packers block it, and they're going to win!
As I was walking to the bathroom, it was that explosion behind me like you see in those cool movies.
Only this was not
Green
cool.
Bay survives!
That's the sad part. I knew what was going to happen. And by the way, getting that wormhole of just go on YouTube for guys walking away from explosions. You'll see, for example, the Joker in Dark Knight. You'll see Wolverine doing it. You see.
So are you also evil?
Possibly. Possibly. I mean, it's not my fault. It's their fault. But they played really well. And that almost hurts more than just getting blown out by 20. It really does. I don't know where we go from here. But together at Chicago, we have to figure out what we all did. We, look in the mirror, what we did to be punished so bad by our sports
I'm
teams.
not lumping myself into this.
Should we get a priest on the show and maybe do confessions? Do you think the Bears are losing because you're a sinner?
Me?
Yeah, you. I'm looking at you.
Obviously not me.
Yeah,
Obviously. Obviously.
Yeah, what a saint over
not
here.
me.
An angel from heaven.
Yeah, obviously. Excuse me.
Well, we've tried a psychiatrist to get me off sports, and that's not going to work. I've already accepted who I am, and I can't change that. I'm not going to not watch Chicago sports.
Yeah, come on now. It brings you so much happiness, obviously.
But a priest is interesting. We got to do something. We can't just sit here and do nothing.
Well, the
Maybe
definition of insanity, same thing over and over again.
Right.
Maybe more like an exorcism for the Bears. Maybe something's going on there.
If anybody has any ideas, I'm open to news. No bad ideas in brainstorming.
I think we need a sage. I think sage.
A sage?
Sage Soldier Field.
That's a lot of sage.
I know, but we should do it.
Something. I don't know, because I can't keep doing this, but I'm going to keep doing it.
Well, you will.
That's where I'm at. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Let's just keep on trucking.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And in sports, talked about the Bears, but we didn't talk about there just a minute ago was the Tyson-Jake Paul fight that a lot of people were obviously disappointed with how it looked, and Case was very upset about seeing, old Mike Tyson come out there and maybe tarnish his legacy. But to me, Friday night was awesome because it became old social media for a little bit, old Twitter, where everybody literally was watching the same thing and talking about it on Twitter or wherever you were going. But that just brought back some nostalgia for me. And 65 million people who have Netflix, or at least maybe get it from somebody else, went on the platform and basically crashed it. And that's what I remember that experience as well. As 25%, it said for a while, locked in. And it turns out, according to a website, Down Detector, which is an amazing name for a website that tracks things that go down.
Can you figure out how sad you are? Is it like also for personal?
Log in. See what it says on there, Kenzie. It says
And type in your name.
I'm like, that's not a good rating.
They said 85,000 viewers. I was one of them, had login problems or outages. Now, eventually, I got on my phone, and then we got on Megan's iPad, and we watched it on the iPad fine. But it wouldn't go on my TV, which is weird because what's wrong with my TV? I got a nice TV. I don't get it. Why didn't it work there?
I don't know.
Netflix can't explain it, but what they did say is this. Here's the official statement from Netflix. If you were one of the thousands in the Chicagoland area, quote, this unprecedented scale created many technical challenges, which the launch team tackled brilliantly by prioritizing stability of the stream for the majority of viewers. This is Netflix CTO Elizabeth Shore. She wrote this to her employees, by the way, and then Bloomberg got this and released it. Here's the other quote. I'm sure many of you have seen the chatter in the press and on social media about quality issues. We don't want to dismiss the poor experience of some members, and we know we have room for improvement. But still, consider this event a huge success. There's cake in our break room right now for everybody.
Did she write that?
No, I added that on.
That's awesome. I love her.
And it was a success for them, obviously, but also it showed, hey, you've got the NFL and WWE events coming in about a month and a half. You better get your crap together and get another server. We have the best IT person in the world, and Steve, you cannot go to Netflix to help them, please. You're with us. But I can only imagine that they have the one guy like Steve there when all this is going on. And he's like, well, can everybody just unplug it? At one point on the screen, it said, unplug your TV and modem and start over. I'm like, what? Where am I? What year is it?
I still unplug things all the time. I turned my phone off yesterday. It was being weird.
I understand.
Work when you turn it back on?
Yup.
It does work.
It always does. Everything needs a little reboot.
Yeah. But when I'm trying to watch a fight, I didn't want to unplug my TV and modem and get back going again. It didn't work, by the way. I did it. I actually did what they said. It didn't work.
I don't want to be old man that yells at clouds here, but Netflix claimed, 60 million people watched this fight?
60 to 65.
I don't know, man. I feel like Netflix should be able to handle that. I feel like this is one of those things that if this were on pay-per-view and that many people bought the fight, we wouldn't be going, oh, it's weird. My cable wasn't working. I had to unplug my TV.
Not that many people would buy it.
That's
it's
right.
like breaking records.
Yeah, if this was a buy event, let's say like the old days of pay-per-views when they were like breaking records, we were going over, me and Case, before the show today, which is that's what we do before the show, look up old pay-per-view numbers from UFC fights.
That's why I rush in every morning.
And I couldn't have been happier doing that, by the way.
Yeah, some of those numbers for like record-breaking pay-per-view buys were like 1.7 million.
Yeah, which is a phenomenal pay-per-view number. No one's ever been like, oh, man, I had to unplug my cable last night. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But no, I'm sure streaming's the future. It's
Down
awesome.
Detector's awesome. By the way, I'm having some fun right now because when you put in like a business, it brings up their app, website, login probability, tech. Like I'm looking at Costco right now. This is unbelievable.
Is Costco down?
It's not, but like it'll tell you like their app score, their website score, their login score, and their system score in the store.
Wow.
I know.
By the way,
Pretty badass.
By the way, not that I follow these sorts of things, but Netflix stock is up today. So it's up 11.33. That's 1.38%. And that is a record high for Netflix at $835.62 is their stock price per stock.
Good. I'm glad the fat cats on Washington or on what's it called, Wall Street, can get richer.
Yeah,
On Washington.
And Joe the
Like
plumber
the
type like
monument?
this. Yeah, I couldn't think of what it was called.
You know, where those guys in suits run around and scream and hold papers up in the air. Wall Street.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we'll look forward to an NFL game coming up on Christmas Day, and then they start streaming Raw on January 6th. Netflix will have all of that.
Oh my gosh, porn?
No, Raw on WWE. There you go. You can watch what you want, Kenzie. Pornhub's available to you, too, for free. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren coming in, take you through the rest of this day. And tomorrow, remember, at 8 o'clock, My Chemical Romance, a song scramble for tickets to the Soldier Field show. That'll be at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And let's get to our takeaways. 312-591-8300. What do you got, Case?
John and Rosemont checked in. Kenzie is going to be the Princess Leia to the emu's Jabba the Hutt. What a sentence.
Kenzie, what do you have?
Mitchell texted in and said, Case gives the waiters hush money on Thanksgiving. I think that's so fun.
I don't even know where that came from.
Because you won't talk about what restaurant you go to.
Hey man, I was never here. Case throws him a 5.
Yeah, don't go tweet. I don't want to go tweet out.
I heard you're on Blue Sky now. Don't talk about me.
Come on now.
No one's gonna find out. Put it up on Blue Sky.
Low tonight, man.
Finally, Double Features Mike checked in with not only a takeaway, but a graphic we have to put up on our Facebook page of the cutest monkey riding an emu, saying Q101, where monkeys ride emus, of course. Mm-hmm. And
The
that's
uprising.
something we can find on the podcast, I'm sure, Case.
That's right, because if you joined us last week and you heard us talking about the monkeys that escaped in South Carolina, there are now feral emus that have also escaped in South Carolina. Avoid that whole state. We broke that down today. Also, don't invite us to Thanksgiving dinner if you aren't spending $60 or more per person. We do not want to be there. And at 8:30 this morning, Brian really needed the crew members' help, and they let him down.
Huge.
One of the more disappointing moments in Brian and Kenzie history. Brian felt really ashamed. Brian felt really disappointed. That is on the podcast as well.
I'm going home with those feelings.
That's right.
Nothing's been solved. You miss a moment, miss a lot. Go get the podcast anywhere you get them. That's Spotify, Apple, or the newly redesigned Q101 app. It's sweet.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.